elements of your financial world and tweak as many parts as you can. When you complete your financial tune-up, your retirement will be sound and secure, the equivalent of a smooth-running engine. Instead of worrying about moves in the stock markets, you can be confident that whatever happens in the markets won't matter that much to you. Don't try to take on everything at once. People who do that tend to become overwhelmed and give up. Work on one or two issues at a time. As you make decisions and take action, you'll realize that you're becoming more financially secure and that you have fewer worries. You'll also be planning wisely for the changes headed our way. Top young professional golfers have at least one trait in common, one you can benefit from even if you don't play golf. In interviews given in 2022, many of them said they had the same essential approach to golf. They never set out to become the top-rated golfer, to win a certain number of tournaments, nor to achieve accomplishments of that nature. Instead, they work each day to become a better golfer. That was their daily goal, and they often achieved it by making small improvements. They worked steadily at making those small improvements, and over time they became excellent golfers and reached significant milestones. You need to take the same approach to your retirement planning, whether you're already retired or a pre-retiree. Work on your total game, but only work on one or a few parts at a time. Work at it steadily. Seek advice from independent sources that rely on research instead of rules of thumb or one-size-fits-all recommendations. Crucially, always be on the alert for changes and potential changes, and be ready to adjust and adapt your plan as needed. Don't think that once a plan is developed that it's set in stone. Too often, I run into people who say, "Well, I've been retired for a few years now. There's not much I can do." That's a dangerous way of thinking. You always need to be looking out for factors that could upend your current plan. Such changes have been happening regularly, and they are likely to happen more frequently in the coming years. By following these guidelines, you can have the retirement you desire despite all the obstacles and difficulties facing retirees. Chapter 1. The Coming Retirement Squeeze. Why the Mid-2020s Will Be a Tough Time for Many Retirees. The mid-2020s could be the most challenging time in generations to be retired or approaching retirement. To be sure, there have been difficult periods in the past, but challenges are emerging that are likely to present stiffer tests for this generation of retirees. The last 40 years have been generally favorable to retirees. There were tough periods within those 4 decades, but the overall trends have been good ones. Strong bull markets in both stocks and bonds began in August 1982. Government policies in the United States and in most of the developed world fostered an environment that has been favorable to economic growth and investment markets and that has rewarded retirees. Investment returns over this period have been well above average, and that's despite at least 2 periods of significant and sustained losses in U.S. stock indices between 1982 and 2021. Strong investment returns covered up many of the mistakes people had made in other areas of their retirement finances. That was the past, but many people now take for granted the environment that created those good results. They have been taking it for granted that inflation and interest rates would remain low, that monetary policy would support stock prices, that government policies would be favorable to businesses and investors, and that the other key characteristics of the recent past would be permanent. That's not likely to be the case in the mid-2020s and beyond. Many of those positive trends and policies that began in 1982 are ending. In addition, there are new negative trends occurring that make the coming years likely to be very different from the previous 40 years. In many ways, the coming years are more likely to resemble the 1970s than any other modern period. But this time, there will be new and unique challenges. Inflation is back.